Oh my goodness.
Are you seeing this, son?
It was supposed to be my rest day today, but I guess we're going for a run. I can't miss out on this weather. It's 8:15 AM. I've got work in about an hour and 45 minutes, but I'm gonna get a quick running around Victoria Park, and then when I get back, let's talk about how this training's going. So we're back from the run. I've got a electrolyte drink going. So I've got the Strava website up on my laptop, and we're just gonna go over that run that I just did. So I ran sort of 9 kilometers with a 2 kilometer warm up and sort of a 2 kilometer warm down thereabouts. So the run was sort of working between marathon pace and half marathon pace. So my marathon pace, I'm hoping for about a 4:05 kilometer, and my half marathon's more of a 3:45 to 3:50 kilometer. So it's quite nice per kilometer just to bounce around between those. My heart rate was a little bit high today, so I just kept it just a little bit off the pace just to save myself. Today is a speed day, but actually I've had quite a big week and I'm only a few weeks away from the marathon, so there's only so much training that I can get in at this point. So to recap on my training for this marathon, I would say it's gone fairly well. This is the first time that I've trained properly for a marathon effort. I actually did run a marathon last year, but that was off my own back. That was back in November, and it was out on a Monday morning long run. I ran a 3:55 marathon, I believe it was. But sort of since then, I took up my mileage in November, and during this time I did notice that I was getting quite a bit of fatigue in the legs, and that actually I was losing a bit of motivation. So around early December last year I took a bit of a break. I dropped my mileage right down to about 30k, and then since then I've slowly been increasing my mileage up to the point now where I'm doing about 85 kilometers a week, which is 53 miles. But I feel really good working at this workload. Both my cardiovascular system and my muscular system seem to be responding really well to this training. But I will say that I'm aware that training takes a little while to absorb into the body. And I'm actually quite sure that the training that I did back in November, that marathon effort and the high mileage, I think that training is really starting to pay off now. And it's like 5 or 6 months later. And this is something I've heard over and over again on YouTube and just in the running community, that actually the training does take a while to be absorbed by the body. So I have tried to avoid injury as best I can. I've increased my mileage slowly over the weeks. I've actually been running 85 kilometers for the last 5 weeks. So this will be my 5th week of running 85k. Previously, before that, I did a taper week, so that was slightly smaller, but before then I was running 65k pretty much bang on for the 5 weeks before that. So I feel really good with the distance that I've been covering, but I don't think my body's necessarily responded too well to the speed sessions. Doing speed sessions is honestly new to me. I would last year say run a 5k maybe every fortnight as sort of a tempo effort, but other than that, the idea of intervals or track work is completely new to me, and actually I think my legs are still absorbing the training that I did back in sort of late Jan, maybe early Feb. So when I was out on my run today, changing between those two paces, I'm not sure that my legs really had the confidence to dial in that pace. So, you know, I can't lie, this is a bit disappointing, because back in February I actually ran a 1:19 half marathon, and I've based my marathon goal of a 2:50 marathon off of this 1:19 half marathon pace. And my calculations, you know, giving myself sort of 8 to 9 weeks of hard marathon training, after that half marathon that I did, I really felt comfortable getting a 2:50 marathon in. But I'm actually realising now that these things take longer than one might think at first. So, as I say, it's a bit disappointing, but I don't find it disheartening, because there's always more marathons in the future, And also this is just an amazing learning opportunity. You know, I think if it had paid off and all the training went to plan and I got to the big day and then I realised that actually like some of the training I've been doing recently, actually the most important training, might actually not be absorbed by my body just yet, and it might be better suited for a marathon in the summer or later this year. I think that would be a bit disheartening on the day. But I think actually taking my focus inward now and actually realising the state of my fitness, I think actually giving myself this, I guess, more realistic idea of where I'm at is probably better in the long run. And this doesn't make me want to overdo it in these last 2 weeks and push up to 100k just to try and, you know, grasp a bit of fitness before the marathon. I don't feel like that at all. I just at this point really just want to enjoy the training and enjoy the marathon. So I think I might amend my marathon goal to somewhere around 3 hours, maybe 3:05. But you know, I'm not going to give up. I think on the day I'm really just going to see how I feel. So the day that I ran my half marathon PB, this was back in, let's see, the last day of January actually, January 31st, I ran an average pace of 3:45 per kilometre with an average heart rate of 169. So this was a really good sort of threshold effort, sort of mid threshold, and I felt great that day. Whereas today, when I was running 3:45 per kilometre, my heart rate was actually like 5 or 6 beats per minute higher. So what can I take away from that? You know, have I overtrained slightly? Am I carrying a bit of an illness? I'm not too sure, but looking at these numbers, I can really see that at the end of January, I was in a really good place to be running these paces. So as I say, this is just something to reflect on. Maybe there's a few tweaks that I need to make in my diet or in my rest and recovery or just in my training. But it's really, I think, important just to be realistic with our goals. And as I say in these videos, I don't want to get too hung up on the data, but I think it's really good just to compare and contrast different results over time. As I say, for me, running is all about enjoying it, and I really do get motivated by seeing my own potential, but I want to make sure that I don't get disheartened when things don't always go to plan. But with saying that, I couldn't be more excited to be going into the marathon in a few weeks' time. I am so happy that I've been COVID-free throughout this whole training block. I've been injury-free and I've just loved every minute of it. There hasn't been a day of running that I haven't enjoyed, so what more could you ask for? But guys, if you're training for a marathon at the moment, or any race for that matter, how is the training going? Leave that down in the comments. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, find gratitude, find peace. See you in the next one, guys.